Okay, so this video is intended for class purposes today, all right? Because I just don't want to repeat everything like 4 times. But I will post this if you're absent today, so that will help. Okay, so if you've been around the last 2 days, then you would count the test back, and if you still can't make your um, corrections, then pay attention. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this real quick. All right, I'm gonna give you the 5-minute version of this, all right, compared to yesterday. So let me get my answer key. By the way, today's breakfast: sausage, egg, and Swiss on a bagel, plain bagel from Bagel World. And I'm really gonna make some changes about how I drink. So iced tea instead of Coke. Okay. All right. Yeah. Right. It's the same thing. Okay. Let me get my pen. All right. Let's write this down. Now, I'm just gonna very briefly give you the answers for the first 4 questions, multiple choice, 10 points each. Okay. One, choice B. All right. Two, guys, I told you this. Like, and some of you wanted clarification, and I rephrased the question, okay, without really helping you. And I said, which of the 4 choices that when you see the number, it gives you no doubt as to the fact that Paul owes money to his father? And it's choice B, it's not A. Okay, you can say that, um, if you were right in the sentence, you could say, hey, Paul owes his father 16,025 cents. Yeah, but I'm not asking you to write a sentence. I'm asking you to pick a number. The only number that represents the debt is B. Okay. All right. Three. Answer is D. D is in dog. Number four. The answer is D again. Okay, because just keep change. So what that tells me, by the way, yeah. So what that tells me is if you get any of these 4 wrong, you don't entirely nor completely understand the rules, the 4 rules of positive and negative integers or numbers. Okay, you have to know that. Okay, let's go to the back. Now, nine. Nine, the most common wrong answer is 4/5. It's not 4/5. It's negative 4/5. Okay, and if you got that little part wrong, that's 10 points off. Like I said, this is that was unit 3. It's all about sign numbers. So if you cannot determine what the sign of the answer is, then you didn't get this unit. Okay, in the future, if you make these sort of mistakes, I think it's going to be 5 points off at most. But in this case, you know, because of the unit and the topic, it's 10 points off. All right, here's the last part. All right, the part that gave so many of you so much grief. And we are stuck. Let's take a bite. Oh, yeah. All right. This is the one that gave you guys so much grief. Okay, it's going to be very tough writing today. All these tabs open. Classes all over the place. Okay. So, number 10. Stuck. Okay, the first answer for part A is negative 200 feet. You have to give me the unit. So if you didn't get to do that, you lose 2 points. Okay, here's the second part. Okay, I could pretty much talk about this whole thing without writing a thing down, but I'll write something down. So listen, so now that the diver is 200 feet below sea level, he's under the sea, and he has to swim back up at a rate of 33 over 60 feet per second. Right? So So a, so a lot of you are thrown off by that number, right? Because you know that there's an operation here somewhere, but you just don't know what the operation is. And so somebody actually came up with a very good idea. So he looked at it. I think she looked at it, and she said, "Hey, look, 33 over 60 is basically a half, right? So even if this were 1 feet per second, so this is what you do, okay? Putting some money in your pockets here. In the future, if you're taking a test or answering a question, and the number doesn't it's not a very usual number, use a simpler number just so that it tells you like what operation it is. So if I change this to 1 feet per second, right? Think about that. 200 feet below, and he comes back at 1 feet per second. That means he's gonna swim up 200 feet or 200 in 200 seconds, right? But 33 over 60 is less than a second. In fact, it's almost half a second, half a feet per second. So how long would it take? Right. So the person said basically it's gonna be over 200 seconds, right? Because it's gonna like if he only goes up half a feet per second, it's gonna take him a long time. So what do you think the operation is? Yeah, that's right. It's division. Okay. Now I don't even know if I need to use the negative number. So let's see. Divided by 33 over 60. Okay. Now somebody is really smart. They didn't want to work with the fractions, so they turned into decimals, which is a little about zero point 0.5. So I forgot who. I mean, is it you, Sam? Did you do that? Okay, so yeah. So if you turn it into decimals, then you could divide with decimals. I guess some of you are more comfortable with that. This is no different. Uh, so the answer, at least in my answer key, was 300. Oh man, God, 363.63 repeating. Right? It's not my handwriting; it's the computer. Jeez. Oh my God. It's like Jesus Christ. And so, or now, if you really read the directions, because you're a good kid, then you would have written 364 because it's around per second. But if you wrote what I wrote, then you know what? It's fine. It's fine. What's not acceptable is 363. You don't round to 363. Okay, so if you don't round it correctly, I think that's 5 points off. Okay, so all right. Now, if you're in class, I'm going to direct you to a writing prompt. I want you to think about. Actually, I got to show you your grades first, and then I want you to sit down and then write down a couple of questions I have for you that I need you to answer by writing. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, hopefully it uploads because I don't want to like just waste 5 minutes of my life like shooting videos that don't exist. Okay, all right, I'm gonna stop. Peace out.
OMG, that was so good.